When you look at it on the outside, there's only 4 walls, and it's just like, what is that building? It's like a lot of love and style that was put into like one little line or one little curve. When you walk in, it's just like a maze of like what could have possibly happened here. And like any spot that you stand, especially on the stage, there's a sense, you can actually feel the sense of history of this great momentous thing must have happened here.
I'm Dana Phelan. I'm the operations manager at Washington Hall. The Danish Brotherhood built this building in 1908, and they had their meetings here. The lodge room was originally the meeting place for the Danish Brotherhood. The Sons of Haiti bought the building in 1973. They also held their meetings here. The third owners of the building, Historic Seattle, used the space to rent out for events, for classes, rehearsals, and sometimes together with the main hall upstairs so that people can use both as event spaces.
All of the events that we do particularly are all ages and mostly all free. So it's cool to actually see a genuine reflection of the community.
Another interesting thing that's happened at the hall is 206 Zulu has a Friday edition where they come together and they bring a lot of old hip-hop heads and community folks, and there's tons of kids running around the hall. That's been a really great experience.
We have weddings and private parties. We have theater performances and really just about anything you could imagine. We have a lot of work to do on the building. We have a lot of water damage, mold issues, plaster that's been pulled off the wall completely on the 3rd floor.
Obviously, you know, there's certain things immediately that need to be tended to, such as the roof and you know, the accessibility.
There's no accessibility, so there's no elevator. So a lot of people that are in wheelchairs or elderly people can't come to, it's a barrier to them to coming to some of the events. Then there's the south side of the building. The whole wall is basically falling over. All the water damage that is in every single crevice of this building needs to be worked out. So there's a whole gutting process and restoring it, and it's harder to just break a building down versus like restoring it to its former glory. The glory of this building is the architecture. Just the curves of the building and just like the tiny details brings out a historical factor that brings you back to a certain decade or a certain era or reminds you of something. People should support Washington Hall and Historic Seattle in fundraising for this project, because the history that is here is still living within the Central District.
Washington Hall is a work in progress. It's a really profound history which spans, you know, a century really, and there's a lot of really amazing people and groups and artists and organizations and thinkers and activists and organizers who's graced this place.
Honoring the people that have created this hall and created the space that these 4 walls, it's just a square building. But within the halls, all the things that have been created are a little bit magical in the sense that it brings together community. And as we are in an age of disconnection, and how do we really bring diverse communities together to talk, to dialogue, to celebrate, Washington Hall holds all of those things.